How do you pitch an a cappella worship song? How do you conduct an a cappella worship song? How do you change the dynamics in an a cappella worship song? What are dynamics anyway? Are these dynamics? We'll answer all these questions and more in today's exciting video. Welcome to Heart of Worship Coaching. I'm your host, Ben Mitchell. Today, we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of a cappella song leading technique. I'll demonstrate pitching, conducting, and expressing the message of the song by shaping the dynamics. We're going to use the classic song, Amazing Grace. What I'd like to do today is sing through Amazing Grace. I'll pitch it and conduct it, and then we'll circle back to discuss the technique more granularly at the end. By the way, if you're finding this content helpful, help me make more by hitting the like button and subscribing and sharing this video with someone else who you think would also enjoy it. All right, here we go. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. All right, let's talk about pitching. I'm going to give you two ways, the easy way and then the more technical way. The easy way is simply to identify the starting note of the melody. The starting note we can see here is an E flat. You might initially say, oh, it's an E, but go back to the key signature and we see the E in the key signature is flatted, which means that every E in this song is flatted, including this lower E that the starting note is on. So the starting note is an E flat. You can simply blow an E flat on your pitch pipe, or if you have a pitching app on your smartphone, it works just as well. And there you go. Amazing grace. And then you can continue the song. The more technical way is to find the key signature and then find the starting note off the key signature. If you do it this way, it's actually more helpful for you as the song leader and for other musically inclined people in the congregation because they hear the key that it's in. They know the scale that the entire song is built off of, so you can hear the intervals more clearly in your head, particularly right out of the gate when you're starting the song. Amazing Grace, this arrangement is in the key of A flat, so you'd blow an A flat. This is your home note, this is your do. And you can see that it starts on an E flat, which is sol in the scale. So you go A flat, do, ti, la, sol. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. And then you continue the song. If you would like a little more background on this, I'll be making more videos on more of the nitty-gritty of pitching, and I'll have a ton more examples. But if you would like a quick cheat sheet, go to heartofworshipcoaching.com and download my free guide. It's a great place to start. By the way, did you know that Amazing Grace's name wasn't originally Amazing Grace? If you want to know the original name of Amazing Grace and the rest of the very fascinating history behind the song, check out the link to the video in the description below. Okay, let's talk about the beat pattern. If you page through a hymnal, you'll see a multitude of different time signatures. 3/4, 6/8, 12/8, 4/4, all these different ones. But the good news, they can all be distilled down to 3 simple beat patterns. We're not going to talk about the beat patterns right now. That's going to be for a video for a different day, but we'll talk about the one that Amazing Grace uses. The time signature is a 3/4 time signature, which means we will use a 3-point beat pattern. The 3-point beat pattern is down, out, up, down, out, up. If you're a lefty, it's still down, out, up, down, out, up. If you use both hands, down, out, up. The important thing is to make sure your beat pattern, your hand, and your voice match up. Make sure the tempo of what you're singing matches the tempo of your hand. Otherwise, it's not helpful. Okay, say you want to take all of this to the next step. You've pitched it right where it was intended. You've pitched it according to the music, so all the parts can sing where they need to sing, so the basses aren't too low and they can't hit their notes, and the sopranos aren't too high and they can't hit those notes. So you pitched it right. You're using a beat pattern. Your voice and your hand are matching. You want to better express the message in the song. You want to change the volume a little bit. You want to change the tempo a little bit to be more expressive. How do you do that? Let's look at examples from this song, from how I conducted it. I wanted to make it more tender and reflective, so I brought the volume down. I did 2 things. I brought the volume of my voice down, and I also made my beat pattern a little bit smaller. And those 2 things combined send a very clear message to the singers in the congregation to do the same. Notice in the last verse, I wanted to bring out the excitement of the 10,000 years and how that's just the beginning of our days to sing God's praise. How did I express that? I brought the volume of my voice up, and I made my beat pattern larger to signify, to send that clear signal to the singers to also bring their volume up. How about at the very end of that last verse when I wanted to bring the tempo down? I just made the tempo of my beat pattern, and of course my voice, slower. But notice in each of these situations where I wanted to make a change, I brought both hands in. You don't have to do it that way, but it's very effective. It's signaling to the singers that I'm making a change. I'm making a change in volume. I'm making a change in volume. I'm making a change in tempo. I'm slowing down. Anytime you make a change and you bring both hands in, it makes that signal very, very clear. So there you have it, how to pitch and conduct and shape the dynamics of an a cappella worship song. If you found this helpful, let me know in the comments below. What is your biggest challenge in leading a cappella worship? Comment below if there's a specific topic you'd like me to cover. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Until next time, keep singing and keep worshiping our great and awesome God.